Hi, this is Jerry Harrison, and thank you again for being with me. What I'm going to talk about now is what I call my short sale success system. There's 12 questions that I have here on the board, and really what we're going to talk about is what makes my short sale success system better or different, more importantly, than anything else. Basically, typically you can have an agent have your property, and that agent works with an attorney. And then the next problem, so you got two components, and I'm going to tell you there's four components that really make this thing work. The third component is that an agent would typically go get a third-party buyer. That third-party buyer would put a contract in, get ready to do his financing, submit the information to the short sale. And what basically takes place, because the bank has a tendency to be from 3 to 6 to 9 months, and a lot of times the bank lies to you, is that these buyers really need to get some answers. They need to know where to live. They need to know, especially when they're going to be moving, and more importantly, they have to have an idea of what to expect. The banks are very, very unrealistic. So working with a third-party buyer that you have absolutely zero control of and zero idea of how to do the short sale, because beyond just getting a contract and getting a buyer, there's really 13 very important things that our investment model outweighs to that typical third-party buyer. So I'm going to answer some of these questions, that 13 different advantages that our investors have over a typical buyer will be in our system side of the website here. But I will tell you, there's nothing more powerful than our short sale success system, because we have four components. We have an investor that's willing to stick it out, pay cash, and do whatever he needs to do to make sure the deal gets done. We have an attorney. We have an attorney-based loss mitigation company, and we have a skilled brokerage company that has worked with short sales for a long time. So those four components, like the four legs of a chair, are what makes this system so successful, and really all the intricate parts to it. So let's talk about the first thing here. What is a short sale? Short sale is very, very simple. It's the bank accepting less than a full payoff for the mortgage that you took out on your home. So if you had a $250,000 mortgage and the bank agreed to sell the home for $200,000, they're going to take, give or take, roughly a $50,000 haircut. And what they've done is they've accepted less than full payoff for the original mortgage amount, and that's what a short sale is. So hopefully that answers your question. Let me grab my pen here. Sorry about that. We're just going to mark that off. Now, I put all these on here, but the next thing I really want to talk about here is right now, will I get any money from the sale? The reason I'm circling that now is this is probably one of the most important things that I'm seeing right now, is there's actually three ways that you can get money from the deal. So the first way is the government has put together what we call the HAFA program, and you can get a minimum of $3,000. So if you're on the fence and you're not sure what to do, well, you could actually get paid to do a short sale through the HAFA program, and the minimum amount I've seen has been $3,000, and the maximum has been $9,000. Now the next thing is the seller incentive program. Your big banks, like Chase, your B of A's, your Wells Fargo's, most banks nowadays offer the seller incentive program. Can I say that you qualify by me talking to you here on this video? Absolutely not. We have to actually put the short sale together, submit it to the bank, and we have to apply for that. So you have to apply for that. And what I've seen on the seller incentive side is that you guys can get anywhere from 10, and I've seen as much as $45,000. I mean, it's crazy how much the banks have given some of these homeowners to leave. Now, I have my own opinions on why they've given so much and what's happened, and I'll really tell you in a quick nutshell of what it is all that robo-signing. So if your mortgage was with Countryside or was with Providian or WAMI or any of those all smaller banks that went to your, and those loans got purchased by Chase or Bank of America, most of those loans were done incorrectly, and without the proper paperwork and the proper signing, those mortgages, quite frankly, aren't even valid. But there's not a court system in the United States that's going to agree to that, because it would cause an outright riot with everything. So that's never going to fly. So if you're on the fence and you want to think about doing a short sale, I would do one now, because you got the HAFA program is the first way you can get paid, from $3,000 to $9,000. You have the seller incentive program, which I've seen from 5 to 45,000, but typically it's between 10 and 20. But I have seen as high as $45,000 for you to complete a short sale. And third, one of the things that we're offering part of this program is what I call my Fresh Start Certificate. And this is the last way that you guys can get paid. So if you guys want to do bankruptcy with us, you need some help with moving, and you need some assistance with things, we're willing to work with you, and our investors are willing to work with you to help you comfortably move out of your home. So those are the things that, the money's very, very important here for people, and it can get you back on your feet. So, will the bank come after us? Our goal here, 100% of the time, and I can't say it happens 100% of the time, but our goal is to give you a full release, and you will know that at the time that we get the approval letter. So if you don't, and it doesn't state it on the actual approval letter itself, we'll go back to the bank and we will fight to make sure that they put that in writing. If they don't put that in writing, we'll make sure that you can consult with an attorney and find out what your options. So there are options. If they aren't willing to give you a full release, what we do is we call our 3-prong approach. The first thing that we do is say, hey, Mr. Bank, if you're not willing to take, $50,000 for this mortgage, and they're not willing to give you a full release on this, what we do is they say, let's take a note. Let's take a note for $20,000 from that $50,000 mortgage. And then what we do is once they agree to a note size, now we've reduced the amount that you owe from a larger amount to a smaller amount, then we want to take payments on that note. Once they agree to the payments, the next step is finally, which is the 3rd prong of it, is to say, hey, Mr. Bank, will you take $5,000 here at closing to wash out that mortgage? Because we are an investment model company and an investment model brokerage company here, our investors will put that money up for you to make sure that you're taken care of. So that's an option that we've worked with. There's only been one time that I know of that did not work, and then we actually filed bankruptcy for a homeowner and we paid for that as well. So what we do is we want to make sure that you are relieved of all future liability on the loss that you've taken on your home. So will they come after you? We're going to make sure that they don't. I can't guarantee that they won't come after you, but we're going to do everything to make sure that you have that mechanism in place, that it's on your approval letter. If it's not on your approval letter, we'll pay for the bankruptcy. So whatever steps that we need to do to make sure that you're taken care of, that's super important to us because, like I said in previous videos, it's happened to me. I'm still paying on a note that I took out 6 years ago that I should be done in the next year and a half. So I understand that it's not exactly always the way you want it to be because I don't want to pay a note myself, but we want to make sure that we're, taken care of. Why do I have to provide personal information? Well, here's the reality. When you took out that mortgage on that home initially many years back, you gave the bank all that personal information back then to qualify a mortgage. Well, what they want to see now is you want to get all that same information so you can basically dequalify for your mortgage. So they're going to see if you're lying, they're going to see if you're not giving the right information. They want to make sure that you are not lying to them and that they can recoup more money if they can. So they want to get all your personal information. Let me tell you what, they got your Social Security from your initial bank application. They can see all your bank accounts. They can get into your records. So they have everything. So it's not like you're really giving them more personal information than they already have. You're just really re-verifying it. So don't look at it like that. Again, without giving them that personal information right now, they are not going to do a short sale. They are not going to do a loan mod. They are not even going to work with you unless you work with them. But again, I want you to remember that you already gave them that personal information years back when you originally took out the loan. So, how long will this take? Well, I can tell you typically 3 to 6 months, probably closer to the 6 months range. Has it taken longer? We've worked on short sales for as much as 18 months. And one of the great things about working with our short sale success system is our investors that are purchasing your home, they don't make money until they buy your home. So they're very, very motivated to stick with this thing till all the way to the end. You also have to remember that, these guys that are doing the loss mitigation, these attorneys that are working on the files, they also don't get paid until this all is completed. So we all have the same goal in the mind, and that's to save your home, buy your home, and then resell it for a profit. So that's the goal. So we want to make sure that this gets done as quick and as fast as possible. But I will tell you that the banks have a tendency to lie to you. The banks have a tendency to want more money from you. I've seen actually some lately that the banks are actually trying to push properties into foreclosure because they can make money after the REO, because what we're finding now is we have a lot of hedge funds out there buying a lot of our properties, and they are taking these REOs and buying them in bulk. So, our job is to fight the bank, our job is to work with the bank, and more importantly, we never give up. And I want you to understand and read my lips on this, we don't ever give up, because as long as I'm alive, we will fight to make sure that your home is taken care of. So the next thing is, why should I accept a low listing price on my house? Well, we're going to offer you probably a little lower price than what you typically get with anyone else, but there's 13 total advantages that you're going to get because of this. So the bank's going to counter you anyways. They're never going to accept that lower offer. So we want to start somewhere. You want to be a cash offer. You want to start this thing immediately. You want to be able to work with an investor that's willing to fix repairs on your property, that's willing to stick this thing out. So you want to get a lower offer, because quite frankly, at the end of the day, does it really matter as long as you make sure that you get a full release and that you have absolutely nothing to worry about or no additional debt that's going to come out of it. So our goal is to make sure you get a full release, and we're going to take care of everything else. So is it right for our investors to take a little bit less? Yes, because I will tell you this, the banks are going to counter you no matter what you do. And I've seen a bank and a agent and the bank get an offer that really made sense, and they countered even higher than that, and the buyer walked away and the whole deal fell apart. So is it good to start low? Always. It's a negotiation. No matter if you're negotiating anything in life, you start low, you move higher, and you work with somewhere in the middle where it makes sense. So will this cost me anything? It will cost you absolutely nothing to do a short sale. Some of the things that we may have to do is, if we come into it and the bank fights with us with a ridiculous price, we do have to validate our price. So there's a couple things that we need to do. Typically, if the bank fights with us, we'll get an appraisal. If the bank fights with us, we'll do an inspection. If the bank fights with us, we'll have a couple contractors come out and do some estimates. We'll have a radon test done. We'll have a mold test done. So what we will do is test everything about your property and add a value to that to bring it down. So do you have to pay for anything? No. If we have to pay for an appraisal, we might ask you guys to pay for an appraisal. If there's an inspection, we might have to ask you guys to pay for one of those. But what we will do is we will reimburse you once we're done with the actual short sale itself. So we do want you to be part of this. Those two things are crucial to your success. And I will tell you, your typical real estate agent that's working on a short sale is not going to ask you to do those type of things. But in the same sense, only 1 out of every 5 short sales get done on average. So we want to make sure that we do everything to get the deal done. Deficiency judgment. Again, we will make sure that we fight for deficiency judgment. We want a 1099. We want a full release. We will fight with that. Again, you do have a safety net put into place. So once we get an approval letter, you will sit down with one of our attorneys, and he will literally walk through all of the different documentation that the bank gave us, and he will confirm with you that you are released from deficiency. If you are not for some reason, we will go instantly back to the bank, renegotiate with them, and see what we can do to get a full release on this thing. So, you do have a safety net. You don't have to sign anything. You don't have to finalize anything. You don't even have to close on the deal once we've done all the work. So it's to our benefit to make sure that full release is in there. If I didn't want it in there, I wouldn't talk about it here in the video. And really, my objective with you, since I've been through this whole thing before, is to make sure that you guys get a full release, because on a liability basis, it's much better for us. And really, at the end of the day, I want you guys to walk away and not ever have to worry about this again. So, will I be personally liable for the bank takes a loss? It's possible. I don't know your personal circumstances, but I would recommend highly call the number up top, do a one-on-one consultation, and let's find out if you're going to be personally liable. There's a lot of things to take in consideration. In the next column over where it says qualify, you can go and take my home health analysis, and it's going to ask you 15 questions, exact questions of if you will be liable, what things do you need to know, what things do you need to be asked. So it's specifically designed to have an outcome tailored to you, to your specific needs, to your specific situation. So go to the tab above me, which says qualify, and take the quick questionnaire about my home health analysis, and it will give you all the answers you're looking for. So if that doesn't work, again, call the number at the top of the website and get an appointment with one of our foreclosure specialists and our attorneys and get a one-on-one consultation, and they'll answer all these questions for you immediately so you know exactly what to do. The next thing, will a short sale hurt my credit? Well, let me tell you what. A short sale beyond the other 9 options that are available to you out there will do the least amount of damage to your credit. A foreclosure, a deed in lieu, all those other ones will damage your credit much worse than a short sale, and the short sale will be behind you the quickest with that. So will it damage your credit? Yes, as long as you have late payments and those things are, but is it the least damaging to your credit than all the other options available to you at this time? Exactly. So if anything, the short sale is the most important to your credit. It'll get you back on your feet the quickest. And if you want to figure out more of that, you can go to the foreclosure versus successful short sale tab in this column here, and you can go look over those options. So one of the last questions here, do I have to pay a real estate agent commission or closing cost? All the different costs to close on your property, the commission, the closing fees, any fee that's involved with actually closing your property, the bank will pay for that, and that'll be part of the short sale. So you will not have to pay for anything. Those additional fees, like I told you at the bottom of the $3,000 to $9,000 for the half a program, or the $5,000 to $45,000 for the seller incentive, that will be on that HUD and closing statement with those fees as well. So you'll be able to get those in the mix with all of that. And then finally, how do I know if the bank will accept my offer? Well, you don't know if the bank will accept your offer. One of the things that we're here for, and why we've put together Short Sale Success System, is there's certain things that we put in place to make sure that we can get the bank to confirm your price. So the first thing is, once we get the short sale together, put all the package together, submit it to the bank will come out and value the property. We want to make sure that you do not let anyone into the property without one of our BPO specialists. Do not let anyone in there. Don't let anyone value the property. We need to show them exactly what to do and exactly what to see when they're there. The second thing is, we're going to work with your real estate agent or one of our real estate agents, and we're going to specifically do what I call scrub your listing. This is when we're going to make the listing specifically tailored to a short sale listing, which means that we're not going to allow the bank to value your home without getting in your home, taking pictures, seeing exactly what your home is about. A lot of times these banks will value your home, which isn't fair to you, without ever stepping foot into the property. So they're not going to step foot in your property. They're not going to know what your home looks like, and they're going to evaluate and value your home much higher than what you can sell it for. And then what happens to you? Your home goes into foreclosure. Is that fair? I don't know if that's fair, but that's just the way it works. So we want to make sure that the bank does a value. We want to make sure that the bank doesn't value your property from the listing. So we want to make sure that all that stuff's taken into consideration. So that's our short sale success system. Hopefully those 12 big questions help you. But more importantly, the short sale success system is a way to making sure that your short sale gets done. So I want you right now to go up to the top of the page and call for a one-on-one consultation. Let's get this started. If you have an agent, make sure that he can work with us. I want to make sure he gets paid. He can go to the agent tab and go under double your income, and we'll give him a quick presentation of exactly how to move forward from this point on. So thank you. I'm glad you've stayed with me. I know this was a little bit longer video, but these were a lot of very, very important questions that I think needed to be answered for you. And let's get started, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.